The Fourth International Conference on Positive Aging, hosted by the Institute for Social Innovation at Fielding Graduate University, was held recently in Los Angeles at the California Endowment Center for Nonprofit Management. The goal of the conference planners was to explore the ways in which the themes of wellness, community, life transitions, and creativity contribute to positive aging, which involves taking control of one's life, being active in the community, engaging with others, building close relationships, and seeking meaning and purpose. Born in 1929 in Dallas, Texas, creative plenary speaker Ardie Bryant has been recognized for his decades of achievements as a multi-generational tap dancing instructor and faculty member of the Osher Lifelong Learning Program. He was introduced to the conference by Tim Carpenter, founder and executive director of Engage, and who has more than 20 years of experience in the field of aging, working in senior housing, services, and healthcare.
Ardie Bryant is known worldwide as the innovator of modern jazz tap and the ambassador of tap. He's a master jazz tap percussionist, tap preservationist, historian, public speaker, composer, arranger, actor, choreographer, and musician with 7 decades of professional experience. He's toured the world as a goodwill ambassador for the Department of Defense, and the sounds of his percussive feet and his dance memories are preserved as part of the Jazz Oral History Program in the Archives Center of the Smithsonian Institute's National Museum of American History. Bryant has been recognized for his decades of achievement as a multi-generational tap instructor and faculty member of the Osher Lifelong Learning Program. And Bryant has worked with legendary jazz artists such as Duke Ellington, Nat King Cole, Dizzy Gillespie, and Charlie Parker. Not to mention he mentored with Bill Bojangles Robinson. Pretty great names on that list. In July 2006, Ardie received the prestigious Los Angeles Cultural Treasure Award from the City of Los Angeles. And on that note, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the amazing Ardie Bryant.
Oh, this 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I love this. I love this. Good morning. How is everyone? Well, listen, I must tell you that I'm very excited to be here with you. When Dr. Katrina Rogers found out about me and invited me to come here to speak to you, I am honored to speak to you from a platform of this magnitude. I have a 5 Ds philosophy that works for me, and I would like to pass it on to you. Desire, drive, determination, dedication, and discipline. Before I continue, I must tell you about how I arrived to be where I am today. I was born March 20th, 1929 in Dallas, Texas. My mother, Martha, took me to see an amateur show at the Harlem Theater in Dallas. I was dressed in a short white pantsuit, white shoes, socks, sitting a few rows back from the front of the stage. Jack Preston was the MC of the show, so he spotted me. He said, "Hey, little boy, would you like to be in our show?" And I said in a low voice, "Get out of here." He pursued me again by getting the audience to applaud. I turned and I looked at my mother, and she shrugged her shoulders. So I had the nerve to get up and go on stage. He said, "Tell me, Ardie, what do you do? Do you sing? Do you dance?" I said, I can dance a little. He instructed the band to play a few bars of I Got Rhythm. I've got rhythm. The band started to play, and I knew 3 steps. Susie Q. Pecking. And trucking. And I won the $5 prize. Watching me from the wings that day was a professional dancer named Pork Chop Patterson. He weighed over 300 pounds, light as a feather on his feet. He took me aside and he taught me a time step. Can you hear that? A rhythm turn and a break. I thanked him for showing me the steps, and I took him to meet my mother. My mother thanked him too. He told her, "How you doing?" I had originality and to keep her eyes on me. She thanked him and he left. I had 6 steps in my repertoire. I went home and I practiced those steps. I went back to the theater the next Saturday and I won the $5 prize again. This was in 1934. Now, during that period, 34, it was very rough for families. And I was earning so much money dancing that I was putting the bread and butter on the table for my family. Then when I was 9 years old, I had the opportunity to work with my first big band, Jimmy Lunsford. 9 years old. I stopped the show. My father worked for the Southern Pacific Railroad, and he was transferred from Dallas to Sacramento, California in 1941. That's where I went to school and I was educated. In 1945, I was 16 years old. I arrived home from high school and I heard a new sound of music called bebop. Oh man, I was excited. I went to the record store and bought every record that I could find by Dizzy Gillespie and Charlie Parker. It took me 2 years to learn how to dance to that style of music because the rhythms were very complicated. Then, in 1947, I had a chance to work with Charlie Parker. He was playing in the Billy Eckstine Big Bebop Band. He had the first big bebop band, and they were playing in Oakland. And I said to myself, I think I'll go and see these legendary musicians that I have been listening to on records and really get a chance to see them in person. So I went to Oakland to the swing club, and I had a ringside seat. Dizzy Gillespie, Charlie Parker, Gene Ammons, Dexter Gordon. He had all of them in his band. And I was just having a great time watching these guys. So when the set was over, I overheard a conversation that Charlie Parker was having with some of the musicians. He said that when they completed their job that night, they were going to San Francisco and jam at a club called Jimbo's Bop City. Now, I didn't know anyone, so I got in my car and I went to San Francisco. I got out of my car, turned the corner, and the first two people I saw was Charlie Parker and Jimbo, the owner of the club. So I said to myself, shall I walk up? Will I be intruding? Or shall I just lay back and kind of play it cool? So I decided I think I'll walk up because I knew Jimbo. So I walked up. Jimbo recognized me, and he introduced me to Charlie Parker. I told him I had heard him play in the Billy Eckstine band. So he said, what do you do? I said, I'm a bebop dancer. He said, you are? I said, yes. He said, let me see what you do. And I said, with my feet, in my street shoes. Ta-ta, 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 ta-ta. Now Jimbo said, what is he doing? Charlie Parker said to Jimbo, he just danced the introduction to Salt Peanuts. Now I'm 18 years old. Get this, how bold I was. I asked Charlie if I could dance a number with the band. And he said, well, sure. What do you want to dance? I said, Salt Peanuts. So I said, listen, I have an idea. I will dance the introduction a cappella the first time. Then I want the band to come in the second time, and we do it together. He loved the idea. I went to the car, got my shoes, returned. All three of us walked in the club. Charlie said, ladies and gentlemen, I just met a young man, and his name is Ardie Bryant. And I want you to check him out. He's a bebop dancer. So how about a nice round of applause? So I got up. I waited until the applause died down. And I went to the center of the floor. And I said, with my feet, ta-ta, 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 ta-ta. Next time the band, ta-ta, 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 boom, salt peanuts, boom, salt peanuts. Now I knew the drummer was going to challenge me. John, I was ready for him. Now get this is the goodie. Oh, I'm 18 years old, man. I'm full of energy and everything. So he said, while we're playing, he said, I said, the people were knocked out. And so was Charlie Parker. The reason being, I knew what to do for the drummer. Now, understand this. A drummer can overpower a jazz tap percussionist. That's what I am. That's a dancer who improvises like a jazz musician and taps like a jazz drummer. Now, when the drummer hears the rhythms that I'm doing with my feet, and if they're similar to what he plays, he will stay under me and he will not overpower.